everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I'm really sorry I haven't been putting up any videos. I know I haven't been real consistent lately, but for some reason I just feel like I'm stuck in a rut. I don't know what I should film. Y'all need to let me stop playing and let me know what y'all want to see. I want to do, you know, like some fun videos or something like that. Just give me some ideas, because I want to switch it up from just like makeup tutorials and stuff like that and keep it interesting. But anywho, today's video is going to be a story time, and it's going to be about the time my makeup got stolen. Hashtag real people problem, guys, right? But so this happened last year. We went out. Well, let me rewind all that. It was me, one of my best friends from elementary school. I won't name any names, but and then a guy that I grew up with. We're like childhood friends. We live right next door to each other. So my birthday is on September 6th, and he took me out in October or towards the end of September. I can't really recall even though that was just last year. But anywho, so the plan was to meet up with him and then go to a club on the north side. Now, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I live about 20-25 minutes at the most from downtown Chicago. So my childhood friend, he's gay, and this is kind of crucial to the story because I love all of y'all. I don't have a problem with none of y'all. Anywho, it's crucial to the story because we went on the north side, which if you don't live here, the north side is where a lot of people like that tend to hang out and where all of the clubs are and stuff like that. So before all of that, let me backtrack a little bit. I was with my best friend from elementary school. I had went to her house so we could get ready, get all dolled up, you know, stuff like that. And he was out with another one of his friends already. They went out, I can't believe exactly where they went to, but they were out already. So we had to meet up with them. Once we got ready, we met up with them. Actually, before we met up with them, I had to drop my car off at my best friend's sister's house in the city somewhere. I can't exactly tell you because I really don't remember. I've only been in her house a couple of times. But anywho, I had to drop my car off there, and then my neighbor, my childhood friend, he met us over there and we got in the car with him. Now mind you, me and my elementary school best friend, we already have been drinking a little bit. But we bought the bottle with us because we like to pregame in the car on the way before we get to wherever we're going. But we hadn't touched the bottle or anything yet. So we're on our way, and the girl that my childhood friend was hanging out with, he had to drop her off at her home first before we even got to the club, because she wasn't hanging out with us. So for some reason, I don't know why, but on the way to drop her off, like we were literally like 2 minutes away from her house, we got pulled over by the police. And we all sitting here looking at each other like, what's going on? Did you run a stop sign or did anything happen? And he was like, no, I really don't know what's going on. So they pull us over, and of course they make all of us get out of the car. All 4 of us got out of the car. So we get out, and they start, I don't want to say ransacking like houses getting broken into, but they're basically searching his truck, going through everything that was in there. And meanwhile, while this is going on, the girl that he was already with, she starts talking back to the police officers. Now, get me if I'm wrong. If you black, you don't mess with the law. I don't care if you're a female or not. You just do not do it. You keep your mouth shut. You let them do what they gonna do. Leave. Don't talk. Like, are you serious? But anywho, so I'm just sitting there with my mouth shut. I'm just following orders, doing what I'm supposed to do. My friend, she's doing the same thing. But his friend, she's just sitting there, angry black woman, right? Sitting here just doing all extra. You know how we do, being extra. Just talking back and mouthing off and all that. Like, and we all sitting here still wondering, like, why we got pulled over. And one of the officers, some of them I believe were Mexican, and then I believe Caucasian, if I'm not mistaken. But one of them tried to say it was too much movement going on in the back. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not saying any of this, I'm thinking this in my head. Too much movement in the back? What? But I kept my mouth closed. So her and the police officer are sitting there arguing back and forth or whatnot. I'm just like, oh my gosh, with this girl, please just shut up. I'm like, just let him do what he gonna do so we can go on about our night, you know? It was just crazy. And then my childhood friend had to step in because he started telling the officer, oh, you don't have to talk to her like that and blah, blah, all of that. But at the same time, she shouldn't open her mouth to begin with. You know, so it's like I don't want to say a double-edged sword, but it's kind of what you get in return. You just don't open your mouth. And then he was like, I don't even care, because he found the bottle that we had in the car, which we weren't drinking it in the car, but it was already open. And from what I'm told, you're not supposed to have open alcohol in the car. I don't know. But he found it. He was like, I don't even care about y'all, you know, that y'all had an open bottle or anything like that. It's just, it was too much movement in the back. And he tried to say, I knew why we got pulled over. And I'm just sitting here looking like, why would I know that? I'm sitting in the back. I'm at my own business. I don't know what's going on. But, I'm trying to remember. I can't remember if they patted us down or not. I don't think they did, but I'm not quite sure. But anywho, after that, we didn't get a ticket or nothing like that. They ended up letting us go. And then the girl went on back. She ended up going to her house. Since we were 2 minutes away, she ended up going to her house. Now, for some people, that'll ruin your night, and that'll make you not want to go out for the rest of the night, and you end up going back home. For us, we didn't let that stop us or whatnot. So we went on about our way. I can't remember the name of the club or anything like that, but we ended up parking maybe, I want to say 2 to 3 blocks at the most away from where the club was at, if I'm not mistaken, and we walked. Now this was something dumb, but sometimes you don't think of this stuff when you're doing it, and then afterwards you're like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. So basically, once we parked or whatever, we got out. But me and my best friend, we both had purses. So, and we usually bring like little clutches and things when we go to the club, so we're not carrying around a big bag. Cause I like to carry around like big satchels and like luggage type purses when around all the time. And my boyfriend back here laughing at me because he could attest to that. I put clothes in my purse. I carry some of everything in my purse. But anywho. Rations. Anywho, you don't want to bring that into the club. So we usually bring like a little clutch or like a crossbody type of purse. Things like that. But the thing I didn't do, which I should have switched everything over from my big purse to the crossbody before we got close to the club. But we didn't. So me and my best friend, we switching up purses and stuff while we're in the car. And then we put our bags under the seats. Our purses under the seats. And then we got out and proceeded to walk to the club. So we got in the club or whatever. I mean, I guess the whole club thing isn't really too crucial to the story. We were in the club for a few hours. We had a good time. I mean, of course, me and my best friend, we ain't going in there to get looks, because of course we're not gonna get looked at unless it's, you know, some females that's like that in there. But so we just went just to have a good time, just to experience it or whatever, because I've never been to one of those types of clubs before, and I've heard they've always been fun. So we're in there, we're just dancing. They play good music or whatever. We didn't buy any drinks because you know what, those clubs, drinks are so overpriced. That's why we usually drink before, so we don't have to buy drinks there. It's cheaper just to get bottles of alcohol and sit in one glass be like $10. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anywho, so we were in there for a while, dancing, turning up, having a good time, and blah blah blah, all of that. I can't exactly tell you how many hours we were in there, but I know it got quite late. Me and my best friend were kind of ready to go, but my childhood friend, he was just so teed and he was so into it. He was having such a good time that he wasn't ready to go yet. So we were just it was getting close to when the club was closing, and we were just kind of standing there, you know, waiting on him to finish up. So, once we leave out the club, we walk back or whatever, and we get back, and he's about to get in the driver's seat. I believe did she sit in the front? She might have been getting in the front, but when I got to my side of the truck, I'm like, wait, something's not right. I'm like, is the window busted? Cause it was like glass on the sidewalk, and like of course the window was completely gone or whatever. And I told him about it. He went over to look at, and I started, like, I didn't freak out because I'm not one. I try to keep calm sometimes. My boyfriend give me looks again. It depends on the situation, on when I'm calm or when I freak out. It just depends on what it is. But this isn't one of those times where you sit there and freak out. So I'm just sitting there like, is your window busted? He comes over there and he was like, oh my gosh, like it was. So he opened the door and he's basically knocking off any of the glass, trying to sweep it out, because that was the side where I was sitting on, the back passenger side. So I was trying to sweep off any of the excess glass and stuff like that. And come to find out, me and her purses were gone. Me and my best friend, our purses were gone. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I kind of, I'm not gonna say freaked out, but I kind of got upset. Luckily that I had my ID and my car keys and stuff like that in the crossbody that I had switched to. But see, y'all know I'm a makeup artist. I keep makeup in my purse just in case I need to touch up, or if I'm going anywhere I know I need to put a full face on, I'm not gonna have time. I'll take a lot of my products with me. So I had a pack with brushes in there, and I had a makeup bag that had foundation, like all of my essential like makeup things that I needed. And my best friend, her bag was gone too. Like she had all her makeup in her too or whatnot. And the kicker to us is, all they stole was the makeup, because my childhood friend, he had his wallet laying dead on the seat. Dead on the seat. They did not touch it, but they took the nice handbags with the makeup. Are you serious? And makeup isn't cheap, but I'm just like, really? You take the makeup over the wallet with the money and stuff in it? That just blew my mind. I cannot believe it. You know, and he had to go in the back of his truck and kind of find like a blanket or something, you know, like you usually put plastic over a busted window. He had to put a blanket up, and he put it like in the crevice of the door so it would hang over the window on both sides. And I ended up sitting on the other, the passenger behind the driver's side. So after that, because after that happened, I'm just like, the tee up is done. I'm like, my mood is like, I'm just over it now. Like, I'm just ready to go home. I'm ready to get this over with. Like, I'm done. I'm just over it. So we ended up going to, because he still wanted to go get something to eat, but I really was not feeling it anymore. I'm just like, I'm just so over it. I'm just ready to go, because that just really like snapped you out of it and really brought you back to reality or whatever. He wanted to go to IHOP, so he drove to IHOP, which it really wasn't that far away. And I just told him to give me something to drink, some water, because I'm just like, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat, I'm just ready to go. Like, honestly, I'm just ready to go. So he did that or whatever, brought it back to me and whatnot. I'm like, maybe you should call the police or file some type of police report or something to let them know that your car was broken into while we were in the club or whatnot. So I believe we ended up driving back to where we parked at. And he did end up calling the police, filing a report, but of course there's nothing they can do. Once your stuff is gone, your stuff is gone. And then that's nothing really important to them, because that probably, I'm not gonna say that happens all the time, but it might be a common thing. Stuff gets stolen when people sitting here going out clubbing and stuff like that. So, it's nothing really they could do about it, you know. And I want to say, I think I might have left this out. Before it was IHOP, I kind of, not just me, we were kind of looking around to see if we seen anybody or see if they might have, you know, just took the makeup and stuff out of the bags and left the bag somewhere or something like that. Because we weren't too far from like a little alley or something like that. And I went over there trying to look to see if maybe they dumped the stuff or something like that just to see. But of course, they didn't. My bag was a not to say it was super expensive or anything, because I got it from Payless, but it was a Christian Soriano bag, which he is a brand name designer. He has a line at Payless, and it was a really nice bag. And if you didn't know that, you would think the bag is like super high end. But once he filed the police report or whatever, and I'm kind of upset or whatever, I just kind of doze off in the car, because I'm just like, I just want to go back in my car and just, you know, go home. So he takes me back to my best friend's sister's house where I left my car. And she's basically, she couldn't believe it either, because she was just like, I thought your car would have got broken into before his. And I'm like, oh dang, wow, really? I'm like, she was like, yeah, because where my sister lived at, it's not a good area. I'm like, dang, so let me leave my car over here, right? I didn't know that at the time though. But so he brought it, and mind you, the sun is starting to come up now, or it was close to the sun starting to come up. So he dropped us back off at the car, and we get out, put our stuff in my car, and of course I get in the driver's seat, my best friend gets in the passenger seat or whatever. But wait, before that, which I forgot to mention this, I was half asleep, but I didn't realize it. My neighbor, he was half asleep too, and mind you, you should not be driving when you're half asleep, because that's an accident waiting to happen. So my best friend ended up driving us back to her sister's house, because my neighbor was so tired, you know. She ended up driving us back. So once we got back, of course we got back in my car or whatever, but he ended up sitting in his truck at my best friend's sister's house for a long time, because he was trying to take a nap, you know, because you shouldn't drive like that. And I guess he must have been really tired or teed up too much. I don't know what you want to call it, but you know, so he slept there for a while. We left, and once we left, now I'm hungry. After I woke up, I didn't want to eat before, but now that I'm up, I'm hungry. So we just went to McDonald's, a couple blocks from her sister's place or whatever. Picked up some breakfast, and then got back on the E-way, the expressway, and I dropped her back off at home, I believe, and then I came back home, or did I end up staying at her house? I want to say I dropped her off, and then I came back on my way home. But I called my neighbor to check on him to see if he was okay, because he did end up staying there for quite some time to take a nap. But then I ended up coming back home. And that same day, I'm just gonna group a couple of things together. That same day, we ended up going makeup shopping, because now I had to replace majority of my brushes, which I will never ever carry that much makeup with me again. Now all I carry is like a lipstick or a lip liner or something just to touch up my lip, maybe my face spray to kind of rehydrate my face or whatnot. But I will never carry that much makeup again, because I'm scared now that if that might happen again. So we ended up having to go makeup shopping that same day. But after that, my neighbor told me he was going down there basically every weekend or every other weekend, and that had never happened to him. Now, mind you, that had never happened to him before the incident, and that had never happened to him after. So that tells you right then and there that that was me and my best friend's fault. Which I said before, that was dumb of us to sit there and switch our purses once we got to the parking spot. We should have did that before we even got to his truck. So basically, somebody sat there and watched us do all of this, watched us put our purses down under the seats and all of that. And we don't know if they waited exactly until we left to break in, or while we were in the club or anything like that. But I'm just like, the killing part to me is just how you steal makeup over money. Are you kidding me? Then the stuff is used. Like, okay, yeah, the brushes I get, you could wash them. But foundation, it might not match you. Like, I had lip products and stuff in there. Like, that stuff, that's just nasty. You don't use that stuff unless you don't sit here and spray everything down with alcohol or whatnot. That stuff is just, it's just outright nasty. And ever since then, I've never ever wanted to go back on the north side. And they always make it seem like the north side is so much better. But a lot of stuff has been happening over there more recently, or more frequently, I want to say, to the point where stuff like break-ins or people are getting robbed and stuff like that, which I really don't understand that. I just don't get people to begin with, which I probably never will, but I just don't get it. And I'm not one of them people that has to go out clubbing every weekend or every other weekend, stuff like that. I'm not like that. I can just sit in the house, drink and sit there, turn up and have a good time. I ain't gotta be shaking my bustle when somebody club. But I guess that's pretty much it for the story. I was just so upset. When you a makeup lover or a makeup artist, when somebody steal your stuff, that stuff is not cheap. And now you just sit here and try to replace everything that you had. I still haven't, to this day, I still have not replaced everything that I have. I still don't have those brushes that were taken from me. Like, it's just so crazy to steal makeup over money. I don't get it. And what you gonna do, sell the bags? I had got that for a Christmas present the year before that. Like, that's messed up. And I've been trying to find that purse ever since. I just cannot find it. I looked on eBay, Amazon, like I'm Googling to try to find the purse, and I just cannot find it. It's upsetting because that was one of my favorite bags, you know. But what can you do about it? Lesson learned, right? At a cost, right? But I guess that's pretty much it for the video. Like I said before, please leave some comments down below and let me know what type of videos you all want to see, because I just really feel stuck right now. I know I shouldn't be, but I just feel stuck. I don't know what to film for you guys. I don't know what kind of makeup looks y'all want to see, or any like fashion related. It could be anything. I really don't care. Just as long as you guys are interested in it. But I guess until the next video, deuces. So just so y'all know, I'm not using the mirror. I'm about to give it away. Here you go, sir.
Thank you.